What's up, guys? Welcome to this new video on Elvis is the Man. So in this video, I want to talk about the time Elvis nearly went AWOL to be with his mom. Now, the story starts in June of 1958. Elvis had just went down to Fort Hood, Texas to start basic training before being sent to Germany. His mother, Gladys, had been hiding some physical ailments and discomforts that she had been experiencing for a little while now, and at the same time, her increase of alcohol consumption and amphetamines had been a coping mechanism that she'd used to deal with the stress of Elvis's fame and being on the road so much. She just wanted Elvis home and to lead a nice, quiet life, a safe life in the country. Gladys liked, feeding the chickens and all that stuff, which they couldn't do too much at Graceland, although they did get some of those when he got the house for her in 1957. Anyway, don't get me wrong, she was happy for Elvis, but she didn't like the fact that Elvis was out of her care and away from her watchful eye. In June of 1958, Gladys came down to Fort Hood, Texas to live close to Elvis while he was doing his training. She didn't know if she could mentally take following Elvis to another country, Germany, which there had been talks of. Vernon was going to go, some of his friends were going to go, like Lamar and Red, but she didn't know if she could do it. But at the same time, she didn't know if she could take being away from him at the same time. It was just a very stressful time for her. Elvis had just been drafted into the Army. That's brought another set of concerns and worries. So this story starts to turn when Gladys's eyes and skin were starting to turn noticeably jaundiced, yellow, and getting worse every day. Normally when a person's skin starts turning like that, it could be a problem with the liver. Elvis's friends were telling Elvis that he needs to get her to a doctor ASAP. But Elvis stuck his head in the sand and didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to hear it. He thought if he ignored it, it would go away. Red and Lamar pleaded with Elvis to get her to the hospital. It was like pulling teeth, though. They couldn't reason with Elvis. He just didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to face the fact that his, beloved mother needed some medical attention and it wasn't looking good. They pleaded and pleaded with Elvis till they were blue in the face, and Elvis wouldn't budge. Finally, Gladys turned so jaundiced that he couldn't ignore it anymore. They finally called the doctor, and the doctor gave his recommendation that Gladys go immediately back to Memphis and seek medical treatment. So on August 8th, Gladys and Vernon took a train back to Memphis and admitted her right into the hospital. Now, this is where this gets a little interesting here. So Lamar, shortly after, got a call from Vernon from Memphis saying that Elvis needed to get back here as soon as he could, that his mother had taken a turn for the worse. Now, at the time, Elvis was in the field doing training, but Lamar told Vernon, he's going to go out and get him. So Lamar goes out, takes a Jeep, picks up Elvis, tells him what's going on the way back, and Lamar and Elvis get back to the office, and Elvis enters the office to approach his captain to tell him what the situation is. Elvis tells his captain that he needs an emergency leave to go be with his mom because his mom is taking a turn from the worse. And get this, his captain says, well, is she dead yet? Now, what Elvis does right here is an example of what he actually had in him. There were times when Elvis, when his back was against a wall, was like a cornered animal. He would fight back, and this was one of them. Okay, so Elvis stopped. When that captain said that, Elvis stopped. Now, think about it. This is his mother. We all know how much he loved his mother and was devoted to her. He stopped, tightened his jaw, and started saying to the colonel or captain, "Do you understand who I am? My name is Elvis Presley. I sell a lot of records and make a lot of money. I'm a star. I've played your games, I've shot your guns, I've rolled your tanks, but this is my mother. If you don't put a pass in my hand within the next 5 minutes, you can shove all this army up your ass. I'm going AWOL. And this will look very bad for you if I decide to call a press conference and tell the press exactly why I went AWOL, and that it was because my commanding officer didn't grant me an emergency leave. Now, how does this sound for you? Just like that, the guy jumped up and went into the major's office room. And Lamar looks at Elvis like kind of stunned, like, did you really mean that? Elvis says, I'm serious. Get the car ready, charter a plane, get back here, we're going back to Memphis. Just then, Elvis's captain comes back in. His face is as white as a sheet. He's got Elvis's emergency leave, and Elvis hightails it out of there to get to his mom. Now, a lot of you know the events that took place after this. Gladys did pass away after Elvis made it there. Now, what she actually suffered with was an acute case of hepatitis, and she actually had a heart attack which caused the death. Now, I can make another a video on this explaining all this if that's what you guys want. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you'd like me to follow up with this. But this is how the story went down in June, July, August 1958. And you could imagine what Elvis was facing after that. I mean, just the turmoil and trauma of him being without his mom, and now he has to live in this new world because fame was new to him, and he's got to face it without his mom. So in the comments of this video, tell me what you guys thought about it. Tell me how you guys feel that he handled this. Did he do it right? I mean, I can't imagine you guys saying that he didn't. If you can just put yourself and just imagine these scenes, as I try to capture it with pictures, just imagine what was going on with Elvis. Elvis was 23 and a half at this time, such a young guy, and everything's so new to him. And his mom was the closest person that he had. And yeah, he was close with his dad, but that relationship was strained, which maybe I can talk about in another video. But Vernon went to jail when Elvis was 3 because he made an illegitimate check. And that really forced Elvis and Gladys to get even closer because that's all they had was each other. The money dried up, and that just really brought them even closer together, and they relied on each other. And actually, Gladys went from taking care of Elvis to Elvis really trying to comfort her and nurture her, while Vernon was in jail. And so I hope you liked this video. If you have, like it, hit the like button. If you haven't subbed yet, make sure you subscribe. And also, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I read the comments, and I like to hear what you guys say about these videos after they're up. If you have time, check out my Bible and fitness page. The links to those are in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys next time.